to the live streams. Aston Villa. Oh, my TV needs to be fixed. It's Aston Villa away at AFC Bournemouth in the Premier League. Only, 3 games to go now in the Premier League. It is massive. It is the big one. Manchester City dropping points today is huge. I think that has given Villa all the impetus that we need, if we need any to begin with, to try and chase down Champions League spots. City dropping points mean Villa to win today. We go within 2 points of City, but Villa's record away at Bournemouth isn't great. We'll get into everything, the lineups and all. How are we all doing live on TikTok and YouTube? What is good? What is good? Come on, Villa. No Tielemans. Oh, we'll get into the lineup, but yeah. No Tielemans. He's out for the season. Absolutely crucial blow, I think. Probably my player of the season, to be honest. And we're going to have to do it without him. Absolutely heartbreaking. My PC is being slow, as always, which is annoying. Yeah, we'll get into everything. We've had some interesting scores today. I think the most fascinating one for me is Southampton now go above the lowest point record. So Derby will still hold that. I can't believe they did it with a draw against Southampton. I am stunned by that. I thought, against Manchester City. I thought Southampton would get hammered by them. So that's a horrendous result for City. My Opera GX is just completely crashed. I'm trying to load anything up and it's just completely crashed. As always. Luke says, I'm so scared of transfer rumours. Well, we've heard stuff about Morgan Rogers. We've heard stuff about Ollie Watkins. We hear things about Ollie every year, unfortunately. So that's not new. Just bear with me while I reload everything all over again. All I was trying to do is get the Villa lineup, and it started crashing all over the place. So earlier today, Everton beat Fulham 3-1 away. Good result for Everton. I mean, they've got nothing to play for other than pride, but with their last ever season at Goodison, I suppose winning as many games as they could is great. Fulham, it's a horrible hit for them in any fight for Europe. Ipswich lost to Brentford, 1-0 at home. City 0-0 with Southampton, like I said, is massive for everyone else other than City in the top 4, top 5 race. And Wolves losing at home 2-0 to Brighton. Wolves went on that run of 6 wins in a row and have now stuttered a little bit since then. So, they've had 2 defeats in a row, goalless in both of them. The highest they can climb now is as high as 12th place. Fulham, 4 losses in 5 is brutal for them. The worst form ever to get when you're trying to fight for the 8th spot. I did see Douglas Luiz. I was going to talk about that. The Douglas Luiz clip. I saw it last night as it went viral. How Douglas Luiz was live on Twitch, and he was saying that he missed Aston Villa and he missed Villa Park. And my heart does go out to him a little bit there. Obviously we love Dougie here, and I think Dougie was a sacrifice we had to make for essentially the financial rules that we have to abide by. I don't think anyone from Aston Villa wanted him to go. I'm gutted. I'm gutted that he's went, and I'm happy, but also sad that he wants to come back, because he's obviously in a position right now. It's not been a good season for him and Juve. Let's be real. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the summer. I'd love to find a way to bring him home. But yeah. Yeah, I'm growing it out. It's not great. It's just a bit messy right now. But it's the longest I've grown my beard. 2-0, says Luke. Rogers and Watkins, hopefully. I've missed some comments. I apologise, guys. So I'm just going to scroll and see on TikTok. Hello to everyone. I'm live on TikTok and YouTube. My score prediction today. Our record away at Bournemouth is absolutely honking. But because we have to win, I'm going to be confident and say Bournemouth 1, Villa 2. I think it's going to be a really close game, but Villa will get a late winner. We've got to fight for Europe. It's the only thing we have left. We went out of 2 tournaments in a week. It's all we've got to fight for. I'm worried about our head-to-head at their ground is shocking. This is our run of form at the Vitality. So it was a 2-2 draw last season. In 2023. We lost 2-0 before that. Lost 2-1 before that. I can't even scroll. The last time we won at Bournemouth was in 2016, I believe. That was the last time. Yeah, in 2015 actually. It's the 2015-16 season, and it was a Rudy Justed header. And I believe it was our only away win that season, and it was on the opening day. There you go. A bit of interesting facts for you there. Ghostface says, I'm a Man City fan. Mate, you must be devastated with that result. 0-0 away at one of the worst teams in the league ever. Like one of the worst ever Premier League sides. To not even score against that Southampton team is absolutely shocking. Like, I'm stunned Man City couldn't beat them. I know City have had a bad season, but to not even beat Southampton is crazy. You're still going to get top 4, top 5, I think. But that's a huge blow, I think. And it still shows that even though Man City's form has improved, and look, they beat us and played well in that game, it still shows there is definitely a vulnerability in that team. And bouncing back to fight for the title next season is probably not going to be as easy as what some City fans think. We're about to be underway for the game today. Bournemouth away for Aston Villa. It's the all-white kit. It is a massive one, and we need a massive 3 points. Come on, the Villa boys. Tyrone Mings back at centre-half today. I'm really happy with that. So very quickly, I'll go through the lineups of both teams because I've just been waffling as normal. For Villa in goal, Emi Martinez. Back for Luca Digne, Tyrone Mings, Ezri Konsa, Matty Cash. A very Steven Gerrard back four, I find. Amadou Onana with Boubacar Kamara in our midfield, with an attack of Ramsey on the left, Rodgers on the right, and Marco Asensio down the middle behind Ollie Watkins. For Bournemouth, Kepa in goal. They play a very similar system to Villa. Back four of Smith, Sabani, Huijsen, and Kerkez, who a lot of people say Kerkez has been the best left back in the entire league this season. Cook and Adams make up their midfield pivot. Semenyo on the right, Tavernier on the left, Scott behind Evan Nilsson, who's had a very impressive debut season, scored at Villa Park as well earlier with I think it was like a last-second equaliser to snatch a point. But Evan Nilsson I can't deny it. Like there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders with Solanke leaving, but he has seemingly it's paid off. I'll just see how many goals that he scored. I know Kluivert's also had a good season for Bournemouth too, but Evan Nilsson, 10 Premier League goals in a debut season is decent. Semenyo I've always been a huge fan of. They've got decent players, Bournemouth, and it's going to be a tough test for Villa today. Let me know what you guys think. Give me some score predictions in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. We've already had a Mon the Cherries from Any Chance. Obviously, we're going to get some Bournemouth fans, and look, feel free to come in. I try and remain as unbiased as I can, but there's going to be a little bit there with me being an Aston Villa fan. Hello, Dean on YouTube. He says, how much Coutinho has cost Villa over 2 seasons? 17 million plus 6 million on weight. 23 to 24 million is insane, isn't it? Hello, Flapcat. Up the Villa. Got a good feeling today. City dropping points. Tough games for us. Sorry, for others above us. 2-0 to the Villa. This is Flapcat. I would be buzzing with that. A clean sheet. We don't really get them away from home, to be honest. Our away record in general is not fantastic. Sporting Lisbon Benfica will be the watch in a bit, tied on points. I do like it when you've got an interesting fight, whether that's in one of the major leagues in Europe or I would call the Portuguese league like a slightly minor league, but it's definitely one of the better minor leagues. So that as a neutral could be a very entertaining, interesting watch. Jay says up the Bournemouth. Come on, are you a Bournemouth fan? Are you just a Villa hater? I'd love to know what your twist on that is, because there's a lot of anti-Villa people about. Bournemouth on the ball early on. They hook a cross into the back post, but it's well overhit. And Emery's going to see that out all day, all night. Semenyo trying to dance and cross. He can dance well. Crossing weren't brilliant though. And Villa implement our play out from the back system, which I don't overly like away from home sometimes. I think it invites a lot of pressure, and I don't know. We've made so many mistakes this season and conceded so many goals. Sometimes I wonder, is it actually worth it? Has Rodgers just been... Wait, what's happened here? I don't understand why the referee is blowing up here. As Villa thump it long towards Rodgers, but the referee blew his whistle. Oh, there's a foul on as Konza cleared the ball. I think there was a foul on Ezri Konza, but I didn't see that, in fairness. The free kick to Villa deep inside Villa's half. Hello, Erica. What's good? He said, howdy all. Mario said, Villa to Bournemouth from Inverness. Like I said, any win for Villa, I would take all day. Give me all day. Flatcat says, Onana's man bun might bring him luck. You never know. You never know, Flatcat. Villa go long towards Rodgers. Good header away by Kirkes. Like I said, some people have put Kirkes in the player of the season role at left back. I mean, I don't think there's been that many left backs who have been incredibly impressive this season. I think it's definitely a position you can look at. I don't think fullbacks in general in the Premier League, there's not many standouts. Obviously, you've got Trent at Liverpool, but even Liverpool fans are not happy with Trent right now. So yeah. Yeah, the beard is growing out. I've not shaved it as of yet. We'll see. I'm 25, so I've never really grown my beard. So I'm just seeing how it goes. Really, I don't know. John McGinn, top Celtic man. I know a lot of the Scottish faithful love John McGinn. I do. I love McGinn. I think he's a very very unique footballer. I think he's very intelligent. And probably doesn't get the credit he quite deserves, to be honest. Always used to get a lot of criticism in the Dean Smith era and the Gerrard era. But I think he's quite an underrated player. I think it's fair to say. I look different, do I? I suppose it does change how I look in some ways. Out of 10, how would you rate Villa's season so far? Now, some people might disagree. I think Villa's season so far, so currently let's have a look in the table. We're 7th in the league. I would say it's been, if you take in you're taking everything, like we've quarterfinal Champions League, semi-final the FA Cup, 7th in the league, I think it's a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's just like, with the money that we spent, the players we got, an 8, I would say, is like anything like 5th and above. A 9 is if we somehow got like top 3. Maybe I'm a bit harsh. You could say 7.5, but I think it's about there. I mean, our wage bill is huge. You have to remember that. We have one of the highest wage bills in the league now. And we spend a decent bit of money. I think it's expected. We bought a left back from Dortmund who literally got to the Champions League final the year before. So, well, not even a year, a couple of months before. So I think there was definitely expectation Villa would be at the very least in Europe, which we are. So I think 7 is valid. Seeing Dougie video, thought interesting. Maybe a cry of help. Yeah, I was. I'm just gutted for Douglas Luiz. Really, I mean, I know it's not gone as well as I thought. I'm just going to have a look at his stats, really, because I know it hasn't been fantastic over there. I've heard like a lot of unrest between him and like his playing time, and like he's had injuries too. He had a long muscle injury out. He's had bits of minutes here and there, but hasn't played a full game since February. That was against PSV in the Champions League. But like, lots of sub appearances. Not many starts. I mean, he's had 2 muscle injuries this season. I mean, it's just not been, I don't think, what he thought it was going to be. And maybe next season, if you say he stays at Juve, I would imagine next season would be better for him, but I just don't think he's too happy. I mean, he says it himself. I just don't think he's too happy. I still can't believe that Southampton result. I'm stunned by that, to be fair. I am stunned. Southampton kept a clean sheet against Man City. Wild. Absolutely wild. I look at the stats. I'll try and have a deep dive into that, because what on earth happened here? XG, City wasted chances. City had 26 shots and failed to score. 26 shots and couldn't get a goal. 1.89 XG to Southampton's 0.11. Southampton had 2 shots in the entire game, didn't hit the target. And in the second half, City alone had 18 and couldn't score. Dear. Haaland played as well. They had a front line of Haaland, Foden, De Bruyne, McAtee, Doku, and Savinho also played. That's how they didn't score with that. It's crazy. Who are we back in tomorrow? Chelsea and Newcastle. I bet Newcastle for that. I think Newcastle are just, they're a different breed this season. Whenever it's crunch time, they seem to find a way in those bigger games. Look at the Carabao Cup final. I think Newcastle beat Chelsea tomorrow. I can see it. I can actually see that. Isak's had like an unbelievable season. 9 minutes gone at Villa. It's still goalless. Villa have a long throw here. Potential with Luca Digne in front of the Villa fans. No McGinn, no Tielemans. Sensio starting. Yep. Cross comes in. Keeper spills it. Spilt in front of goal. Villa couldn't take advantage, and the referee has blown for a foul on Semenyo. He's still rolling around despite the referee giving him the foul. What happened? I don't even know what happened there. Oh, he got kicked by Ramsey. Fair enough. He actually did get... I mean, it's a 50-50 ball. Obviously, you're not going to book Ramsey for that. But he did catch him in the foot. Not feeling this lineup at all. Well, I understand that. I get it. But I don't think we had too many options. Personally, I would have dropped Rodgers. I don't like Rodgers out wide. I'm just kind of tired of Rodgers out wide, to be honest. It's the same shit that we see constantly. And I don't think he's been that great recently. Am I harsh in saying that? I think he's way better down the middle, but we seem to try and shoehorn multiple players into the lineup, and I don't quite get why. We can play Asensio and then bring on Rodgers, or start Rodgers and bring on Asensio. It's fine to do that, but we utterly refuse, and we're just trying to do what is very similar to how Fabio Capello at England did, where he's just trying to shove players into multiple positions. Sven-Goran Eriksson as well. We had a midfield of Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, and rather than drop one, it was like, oh, let's just put them all in, and it just didn't work. Sometimes you're gonna have to make sacrifices across the pitch, and Villa, it's like we really don't want to, and I think that could be to our downfall a little bit. Even Southgate did it actually as well with Foden and Bellingham. How like they kind of both play the same position, but he would just shove Foden out wide, and Foden had a terrible tournament. Managers just need to learn that it's okay to just drop one. It's not the end of the world. What happened to Villa being the Champions League next season? Billy, we are in the fight for it, my friend. Top 5. I know this is like... This could age very badly for you, and I will take a screenshot of that comment, and I will laugh at you if we do get top 5. Villa 2 points behind it, and Chelsea and Newcastle play each other. So if Villa actually win today, and one of Chelsea and Newcastle lose, we would be on goal difference with them. So I just wouldn't say that if I were you, my friend. I think you are risking being an idiot. I think the midfield is what makes them so difficult to play. Villa absolutely have to win this. I agree with that. Could Villa risk losing Rashford and Watkins this summer? Watkins, I don't think we can afford wages. Not Watkins, sorry. Rashford, I don't think we can afford wages. Watkins, we'll see. I don't think it's been a superly impressive season for Ollie Watkins. He's had a decent season, but I don't know. I think he only scored 1 goal in the Champions League. You can look that up. I don't think that's like a great output, really. And like John Duran was preferred to Ollie. You got to remember that. A lot of Villa fans wanted Duran to start more games, and obviously he went to Saudi. But I just think that's something you have to remember, and people said it for a reason, really. But I still back him. I still back Ollie. But yeah, you can look at his stats. In 12 games in the Champions League, scored 1 goal. 12. That's kind of crazy if you think about that. For a striker that starts a lot of games. Onana carries the ball really well for Villa. This could be a chance. Onana into Ollie Watkins. Loses the ball. Ramsey picks it up though and puts it wide. And that's, a perfect time to show Ollie Watkins, and his output sometimes isn't great. Onana does brilliantly. Plays it into Ollie, and I think Ollie could have done a lot more with this. Just tries to go centrally, and I feel like going on the outside there probably was his only route to goal, as they shut down centrally in the middle. Good defending from Bournemouth, in fairness. Good defending. And then Ramsey's shot isn't fantastic. It's not far wide, but it's never going to threaten the keeper from there. Our goal difference was shocking for a long time, yeah. Would I rather Europa? Easy to win. It is Unai's competition, in fairness. But Champions League does give you more money, and it gives you... Like, players want to play in it. So from that perspective, yes. But Europa League, I'd fancy Villa anyway. Like I said, Unai Emery's won it more than any manager in history. So Villa would be, I would say, a favourite to win. Like Bodo Glimt got to a semi-final this season. So Villa would definitely be a favourite for the competition. Obviously, I don't think we'd ever be considered one for the Champions League. And I think Conference League, any Premier League team would walk it. So it depends. If you want to win a trophy, you'd maybe want to go Europa League. If you want to get better players, Champions League's the way to go. Either way, I'm happy we're in Europe. It's good to be consistently in Europe. But it will be 30 years next year since Villa last won a trophy. So maybe my greed for a trophy would seep in a little bit. End of the day, not the end of the world if we don't get Champions League, is what I'm trying to say without waffling. Erica says, I love Watkins and would have played him today, but bloody heck, poor Marlon. Oh, Daniel Marlon. I've said it a million times. How Marlon doesn't play more games is ridiculous. I love Daniel Marlon. I don't know why his treatment is so bad. I don't overly get it, to be honest. On YouTube, we do have live match ratings and stats if you want to go and have better viewing over on there. Like I said, I'm live on YouTube and TikTok. Feel free to watch them whatever you want. But it is an option there if you are so interested. So far, Villa and Bournemouth, I mean, there's only been one shot in the game, and it was that Jacob Ramsey effort that went wide of the post. Other than that, it's been fairly quiet. A very slow start to this game. There we go. Just need to fix one or two things on here. Villa fans singing Ollie Watkins' name. Oh wait, I just realised how I did this wrong. Oh no, I did it right in the first place. Never mind. Ignore me. There we go. I'm fixing the stats now. Hi AJ. Hopefully we Villa win, and are you going to watch Eurovision this year? The UK surely won't come last this year. I don't mind Eurovision. I just think we are shit, so I don't expect the UK to do anything in that competition ever. But yeah, it's not bad. You just need to take it like not seriously. That's like the best way to enjoy it. I've won lots of money betting on Eurovision, and that's not even a joke. In fact, I've never lost a bet Eurovision. You just look up the odds, and I bet according. Gamble responsibly. I think I legally have to say that, but I don't do too bad. I don't do too bad. All right, there we go. Stats are fixed, and if you want to view them, they're on the YouTube. Why is my timer not showing? I should have a timer. The timer is refusing to show. Apologies for that. I don't know why. What is going on? Okay, I don't know what. Sorry guys, I don't know what's going on. Oh, have I froze it? I might have frozen it. There we go. It's still not fully fixed, but Jesus. Okay, well, I'll fix that half time. Sorry guys, but the timer's bugged. Fantastic. Oh, I always get streaming issues on here. Always. Who would I sell to make PSR? I hate the fact that we need to say that. Oh, I don't want to sell anyone really. I mean, you could sell what? Matty Cash and Digne, but what would you get for them? You know, like there's not many of this squad that I'd want to sell. I really like our squad. It's not often I've said that over the years with Aston Villa, but there's not many. Oh, nice play. It's Mings with a cross. Of all players, Tyrone Mings shifted into a very wide position there. Put a decent ball into the box. Villa couldn't take advantage. 18 minutes gone here. Still remains goalless between the two sides. Sell Olsen. I mean, Olsen's going for free, I think. I think his contract's out. But he's going. At least his wages are going. How you getting on, mate? It's goalless, 20 minutes in. It's been a very quiet game. Very quiet game. Guys, if you're watching on TikTok, double tap the screen. I appreciate all the support as always. But yeah, it's we do this sometimes in games where we just kind of sit back for like the first 10-20 minutes, get a feel into the game, try and settle and see how it goes. We did this against Man City. We gave them lots of respect there. We were so deep against Man City. I feel like we should have gone for them a lot more than what we did. We barely attacked them in the game. Like, we were so scared of what they could do, and I feel like this season was like the biggest opportunity to actually have a go at Man City, and we never really did. 3 points for you next week. You never know. Villa could easily bottle that. Spurs, there's no... Like, I know it will be like basically Spurs' second team, but there's no pressure on that team to underperform, and all the pressure's on Villa to win. So there's a genuine like opportunity that Spurs could somehow get a win at Villa Park. Plus, your record at Villa's not exactly bad. I know we beat you at home this season in the FA Cup, but previously in the Premier League, it's not been great for Villa. Cross for Bournemouth towards Evan Nilsson. He got the header on, somehow beat Tyrone Mings in the air there. Unless it was Mings' header back towards Martinez. But it's a good bit of goalkeeping. You had to watch that all the way, mate. No, it was Evan Nilsson. Yeah, Evan Nilsson actually beat Mings. I don't see Mings lose many headers. It deflected off Mings, actually. It's a header that from Evan Nilsson onto Mings. But first shot for Bournemouth. Forced a save from Emery. Villa don't concede the first shot on target. Who'd have thought? Tears in my eyes. So many games this season, our opponent's first shot on target is a goal. So, thankfully, this time, not the case. Oh, that City game, no idea how we won that one. Oh, are you a City fan? I'm guessing. Oh, I'm trying to think. Because I thought City were better than Villa, to be fair. Villa were awful in that game. I'm not happy with that. Not happy with that at all. Cross from the left, cleared. Bournemouth have it edge of the box here. Villa, like I said, dropping very deep. I born at Heartlands. I grew up in Castle Vale. Currently don't live there now, but for a short period of my time, grew up there. Oh, nice bit of skill from Ramsey there. And then he nearly trips over. Ramsey into Onana. Bournemouth with a bit of a scary press, and I feel like just like in previous years at this ground, a mistake could happen at any point. Onana does go long though, looking for Ollie. It's going to be watched all the way though. That's Kirk. I mean, Kirkes, what a season he's had, and he's showing it there. Just watches that long ball all the way. Watkins to Arsenal next season. Well, they need a striker. Will Ollie be that one? That man. Oh, you are a City fan. To be fair, I thought City probably were the better team in that game. Villa just didn't really play. We just kind of sat off. I know both teams were poor. Don't get me wrong. But we were worse than you lot, and yeah, I felt like if any team was to win the game, it would probably be City. We had a couple of chances. Rashford hit the post inside the first minute, but we never really had a go at City, and I was disappointed with that more than anything. That we just kind of defended and sat back and just, yeah. I feel like if we actually would have gone for City in that game, we might have got maybe a point, maybe more. But we played into City's hands, really. City like it when teams sit back. I think they've struggled a lot this season when teams have gone at them because they've been so poor in a lot of games. But now City deserved to win that game. It's just annoying how we lost. Losing the game like that in the last minute because of a stupid mistake from Disasi really rattled me. Semenyo does well against Rodgers, but Villa, I mean, they're just completely surrounded Semenyo. He had nowhere to go. Villa goal kick, 23 gone. Bournemouth 0, Villa 0. Dean says this has 0-0, 1-0 to Bournemouth. This is going to be a long game, says Dean. I mean, could be. You never know. RT said Old Trafford to finish the season. Our record there is horrible too. 1 win at Old Trafford. 2 wins at Old Trafford since 2009. The last time we won, it was a Courtney Howell's header, I think, and Bruno missed the penalty under Dean Smith in his last few games. I think it was. Don't quote me on it. I think it was Dean's last win. I think it was Dean Smith's last win for Villa. away at Old Trafford. Could be wrong with that, but I know it wasn't far. At the very least, it wasn't long after we beat Man United. He lost his job. So it could be that. Akbar says, beautiful weather to play football and predicting 4-3 Villa. There's no way this game has 7 goals. It's been such a very slow game. Ralphie says, come on, Bournemouth. I'm not a Villa fan, but isn't Watkins unhappy about something? Watkins was upset for a while about his playtime with Rashford, but then Rashford is out for the season, injured, and then, the whole thing with Duran, I think, rattled him a little bit. But again, I don't think Ollie and his standards, I don't think he's been as good as what he could be. Ollie's a top player, but his finishing isn't brilliant at times. And like I said, one goal in 12 in the Champions League is crazy, really. Ramsey looks sharp. He's been pretty good, very bright in this game so far. But yeah, I think for you, Tel, I know your comment got removed there, and I apologise for that. The TikTok chat is very aggressive towards comments sometimes. I actually fancy Spurs to win that Europa League final. I know that it goes against everything. It goes against like the Spursy nature of Tottenham. It goes against everything, right? But I do fancy Spurs for that final. That whole Ange thing of him winning in his second season, like the aura that man will have if he actually goes and wins a trophy. You know that famous interview he had at the start of the season. He's like, I always win things in my second season. It will have if he actually wins Europa League, it'll have so much aura to it. So just on that alone, I kind of want them to do it. Because I do kind of like Ange. I do like him as a funny guy. He can get rattled by silly things sometimes, but I kind of like Ange. And yeah, Goldbridge meltdown plus cold moment Ange would be quite funny. Either way, like if Spurs lose, I get to watch expressions oozing, so it's like a win-win either way. I get to see a meltdown. So yeah, we'll have to. I can't wait. I'm gonna really enjoy the Europa League final. There's a chance I stream it. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to that final. Evan Nilsson with a good flick header, and Bournemouth could hit Villa on the break here. Semenyo on the outside has a shot. Oh, Scott has a shot. Good block from Onana there. Scott had far too much room there. And now Onana has won a foul for Villa. Really good. Really good bit of play. For a lanky player, he's very good with his feet there. A little bit of a step over. Skips beyond. I think it was Scott as well. It was. 2 players that seem to be all over the pitch. Alex Scott for Bournemouth and Amadou Onana for Villa. I think a card has been shown there to Scott as well for the foul. I mean, he does pull him back. Man Talks a Lot says we aren't winning this. And other comments. Man United wanted the 4-3-1, but could look worrying for Spurs in the final. Record points, Birmingham City. Well, I would expect so when you bought the league. So congratulations, you've done a Wrexham. I hope you're happy. You're going to have to go against big boy money, though, if you ever want to play in the Premier League. It's not just millionaires that you're going against now. It's billionaires, bro. And your Yank don't have the money that our owner does. So you got a lot to compete with. Free kick Bournemouth, and Asensio does plead his innocence, but the referee's not having any of it, and a free kick and a card is given. Half an hour gone. I will say it's been very uneventful at the Vitality. And yeah, with Villa and Bournemouth both fighting for Europe right now. Villa wanting Champions League spot. I wonder where a chance is going to come from, because we've not really created much in this game so far. Still a long way to go, but it's been very, very quiet. Oh, you get top 5. Sure. Love going to Villa. I appreciate that. Erica says both very cagey. A Man Talks a Lot says the attack looks dead. It has been quiet. I do think it's just been more of a conservative play style from Villa, just kind of sitting back and playing on the break a little bit. Evan Nilsson does really well to take the ball down. Evan Nilsson just causing way more problems for us than what we're causing for them. The hold-up play for Evan Nilsson has been a bit of an issue already. He does well there, takes it down, not brilliantly, and then Tyrone Mings can just come back and defend brilliantly for Villa instead. But it's something. They got a corner from it. But that's just one long ball to Evan Nilsson. I feel like we just don't have that presence. We have conceded the fewest goals from corners. Only 2 goals we've conceded all season from corners. So will that increase here? Bournemouth goes short. Oh, they've lost the ball. What a tackle. Asensio winning the ball back for Villa, but then we give it straight back. What a waste. Their corner routine, Asensio won the ball back straight away. And once again, Villa do not concede a corner, as we have barely done all season. Which is a very nice stat. I do enjoy that. It shows that maybe goalkeeping, not goalkeeping, maybe set piece coaches aren't a bad idea if we have one and we don't concede many. Enzo swap for Louise. You shouldn't be in a state right now, to be honest, but hopefully you get around 9th. Oh, Tottenham. Oh, well, let's have a look. I mean, Spurs, I think if they won their next 3 games, that's a huge if, considering the season they've had. Spurs would be on 47. The highest Spurs could climb is 12th place, which is crazy. That's a mad thing to say. The highest Spurs can get is 12th. The league, they don't care about. The Spurs, you ask any Spurs fan right now, they would take 17th place and Europa League any day. In fact, it might be even funnier the lower they finish, just to piss off the Arsenal fans. Imagine you can say, like, in our worst Premier League season, where we've wanted Ange out the whole year, we've still won more trophies than you lot in, like, your best era. Like, I think it's funnier if they finish lower. Like, I don't know. I think as a Spurs fan, it's almost tempting to want to finish lower, and that, like, you know, as long as you win the Europa League, because it's just a funnier thing to say. You think they'd take... I don't think they'd take relegation, no. I think that's too far. But they'd take 17th. I think they would 100%... They'd take 17th and surviving goal difference if they won a trophy. Because as long as you stay in the league, it's fine. But I think the idea of being that bad and still winning more is funny. Like, we're either going to get a Phase 1 Amarin trophy, or Ange Postecoglou, or a top 10 coldest aura moments winning a trophy in his second season. Both of those on Arteta's head top is funny. I don't even hate Arsenal. I just think it's funny as a neutral to see that. Like, Phase 7 Arteta only won a trophy with an Unai Emery Arsenal team with Aubameyang, who he literally kicked out the squad. That's pretty funny. I don't know. I enjoy football as a hater. I am an avid hate watcher. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone hate watches in this sport, and sometimes a good hate watch just hits right. Do you think we're gonna win? What, this game here or Spurs? Because I was talking about Tottenham the last few minutes. Villa, I'd still fancy Villa to win this game, and I do put Spurs as a favourite for the Europa League final. But I think Villa, I'd said 2-1. I don't think it's going to be that many goals from what we've seen. But I hope Villa can get a winner. Maybe it's just my heart more than my head talking here. Maybe if I was a neutral, from what we've seen, this screams of a draw. But I hope that we can snatch something here. I just wanted Daniel Marlon to start. Marlon has barely played any game. I need to do a whole video on Marlon, really. Like, his treatment has been shocking. To the YouTube chat, hello. Apologise. I've kind of just been going on TikTok. We've got a lot of support on the YouTube, and I appreciate you guys as always. Rashford, much better player than Watkins. Period. Duncan, I do think Rashford is a better player than Watkins. I just think Rashford's lows are lower than Watkins' lows, but Rashford's highs are higher than Watkins' highs. If that makes any sense. I'm already waiting for the Unai halftime pep talk. We've had Spurs of great record against United. The Spurs, I think they've won their last 3 against Man United, so I think they're definite favourites for it. How's my cat? I do have 3 cats, and they are Oh no, I used to. I have 2 cats now. Well, I still in my head still think I have 3. Even though one of my cats passed away a few years ago, and still in my head I still think 3. They're fine. They're fine. They're literally sunbathing because it's been quite hot. The biggest club in every area of England. I mean, that's a tough question to ask. Biggest club in London, I would probably say Arsenal. Because most trophies. There is a case for Chelsea. If people want to say Chelsea, that's fine. But I personally think Arsenal because of, history. I think before Abramovich, it's hard to really argue Chelsea's case. It's the same reason why I wouldn't say Man City for Manchester or all that. I'd say biggest club in the country is Liverpool. Then United, then Arsenal, and then there's like a gap. And below that, you'd probably say Chelsea. But yeah, that kind of answer. East Anglia, I mean, the fact that I'd say Ipswich is crazy, but there's literally no one else there. Southwest, what? Plymouth, Argyle, Bristol City, probably best in the Southwest. The standard of football in as much as I love Devon, Somerset, and all that, it's not great. So the best team in the Southwest is probably Bristol City. You could say Bournemouth, actually. Bournemouth are down there. I forgot Bournemouth exists down there too. I retract my statement. It is Bournemouth. I forget they're down there. They're in Dorset, I think. Northeast. Best team in the Northeast. What, Leeds? Not many decent Yorkshire teams, are there? Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Leeds, Huddersfield, Barnsley. Yeah, it's probably Leeds. There you go. So that's your question answered. I probably upset a lot of people there. I'm entitled to an opinion. I apologise. Trad me, Rufus. Man. I like their badge change that they did. They went like red, didn't they? It's like their classic. I know they did that a few years ago, but that was cool. I remember that. And they do this like annoying chant where they just sing Super White Army over and over again. So I know bits and pieces about Tranmere. Good ball towards Ramsey, and that's a foul on Ramsey. It has to, at the very least, be a yellow. Villa might want a bit more, but we're not going to get last man for that, unfortunately. I don't think that's in my opinion, I don't think you can have that as a clear goal scoring opportunity. But if he's a bit more central, maybe. But he's a bit out wide. But at the very least, it's a yellow. It's a horrible tackle from Semenyo. He knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah. Need to stop playing Rodgers on the right. I say it every week. Newcastle. I mean, I suppose you could put Newcastle in the up there. I forgot. I suppose I think of Northeast. I think of like Yorkshire, but I suppose it does cover that area too. And you've got Newcastle, Sunderland, Middlesbrough. I think if you take history with it, Sunderland do have a lot of trophies. I do think I know that's going to annoy Newcastle fans, but you just take your bias out. Look, I think Sunderland have won the league like 6 times or something silly. Like, how many Div 1 titles do Sunderland have? I know they have a lot. Yeah, they've won it 6 times. That's quite impressive, really. And like, I know Newcastle did really well to win the Carabao Cup this season, fair enough, but they did go 70 years without a trophy. I just think there's a huge case to say Sunderland are a bigger club. I know that's controversial because they're in the Championship, but you got to account for all the history. I don't know. I think there's a case for it. I think they're barely bigger, but not by a lot. And obviously Newcastle fans won't like me saying that, but it is a lot to argue. 6 titles. It is a lot to argue with there. What was the point in a sense here, said the Villa fan? Oh, how so? What do you mean, what was the point? And Brock says, I prefer Watkins. To who, my friend? I must have missed that comment. Historically, we're bigger than Newcastle, but right now it's a Newcastle from a Sunderland fan. I think it's one of those where, like, you know, if you go by the last 30 years, right, you would easily say Newcastle. But if you take everything into account, it probably is Sunderland. At least look, Newcastle have a far bigger trajectory of that club than Sunderland. Unfortunately, I think Newcastle have way more of an opportunity to win any kind of trophy than Sunderland, and the fact they also won another major trophy this season. So yeah, that's my take. That's my take on it. Anyway, you reckon Watkins will leave? Maybe. I'd want a good price for him though. I don't know if he went to Arsenal. I don't know if he solves their issues. I think that's the funny thing for me. Arsenal have a problem with not taking chances. I don't think Ollie solves that. Well, I think Ollie does lots of things really well. He always runs about. He always presses very high. He's quite tricky with his feet at times. Decent-ish with both feet, but I think his finishing under pressure has always been an issue with Ollie. And I feel like at Arsenal, the pressure is going to be even higher. And I don't think he solves their issues. I really don't. They could spend like 60 plus million on Ollie just to be in the same boat they had with Kai Havertz. I don't know. Brock says Newcastle by far. Look, you can have that opinion. That's fine. I don't look. I think it's that close. I wouldn't even say I massively disagree or anything. But I think people forget how many trophies Sunderland actually have won. It's because they've been in like the Championship and League One that they kind of get forgotten about. Where Sunderland at one point were a massive, massive club. Well, Everton were that's another club that's huge. Everton, I think, have won. No, I think they've won 9. I could be wrong on that. Have they won 9? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, see, my ball knowledge is unreal. They've won the league 9 times. Like, Everton were massive. People forget that. I still think Everton are a big club, but Everton used to be considered one of the biggest. I think that kind of happened. It's happening to Sunderland a little bit. Where they used to be a big club and now it's getting forgotten about. Anyway, I would take 60 million for Ollie. Well, you'd try and squeeze him a little bit, so you could say like 70, 80 out of him, but I'd probably take that for Ollie, to be honest. Potential handball from Marco Asensio. I mean, he just falls on the ball. They can't. I mean, the commentator literally said it as I said it. He literally falls on the ball. A man talks a lot. I know your comment got hidden, so I'll approve it. Desperation talks. Arsenal desperate for a striker, so I think they would pay that if they got desperate for a striker. Marlon straight up replaces Watkins, in my opinion. Give the Baldy man a run. I mean, he went for a run of games where he scored in every. He scored for 3 games running, all like off the bench. I think he's a decent player, Daniel Marlon. That's what I mean. I wanted him to play more games now. I don't know why he's not. Villa go long looking for Ollie up to half time here. It's still 0-0. It's been, I will say, this has been one of the quietest games we've had all season. What was the point in Bogard? I forgot about Bogard. We got more league titles than Leeds. I've got trophies, yet Leeds are massive and we're small. Look, I think Leeds are heavily inflated. I think they've got a big fan base. But that's an entirely different conversation to have. Villa have a chance. Asensio off the post. Marco Asensio hits the post for Villa at the edge of the Bournemouth box. And that's easily the best chance either team has had in this game. Asensio spins, gets a left-footed shot away. Comes off the outside of the post. Gutted. Anyway, back to my point. Leeds have a huge fan base, and I would say they're a big club, but Leeds act like they are massive, massive, and they're not really. There are a lot more bigger sides than Leeds in the Premier League. I think Everton are bigger. West Ham. You could even have an argue for West Ham. Really, I think they're in the same category as West Ham United. I don't. I think. I think they over exaggerate how big they are. Leeds. Quite. Well, I can't even speak. Crowds, quiet, no atmosphere. Says Erica. Yeah, fairly. Yeah, it's not been. I mean, it's not a big ground as well, but they don't exactly have an intense atmosphere at Bournemouth. I don't think. Yeah, they do act like the Real Madrid. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Do you know West Ham's colours are inspired by Villa? Same with Trabzonspor in Turkey, as apparently Villa kits were sent to Turkey. Burnley were also inspired by Villa's colours. For 60 or 70 years, Villa were at one point the front runners for trophies in England, and we were eventually overtaken by Liverpool. But for a very long time in the early 1900s, Villa were the biggest club in the country. Easily. And then we kind of fell off at some point. But yeah, we inspired a lot of clubs' colours, which is why you see a fair few claret and blue teams about. Yeah, trendsetters, yeah. Bournemouth with a very faint-hearted penalty appeal on Morgan Rogers there when it literally ricocheted a yard before it hit him. 6 minutes added time is a surprise. I don't think there's been hardly any stoppage, really. Why these... Oh, shit. Sorry about the live stream there, guys. Why are these fans crying so hard about everything? I mean, they're fans. They want decisions, don't they? So I don't blame them. It's just it reeks of desperation, really. If I'm honest, I'm not a fan of the colours, really. What, Villa? I'm surprised. I think our colours are great. I think it's unique. I like uniqueness about it. So many teams just playing like red or blue, or in the case of Palace, both. You know, so I like that it's unique, really. So I like the fact that I support a team that doesn't end in City or United or anything like that. I like the rogue ones. I like the teams that have a club ending in Athletic, or like Port Vale in itself isn't even named after a place. Like I like unique stuff like that. If he's still treated like this first half next season, he definitely want a loan. I mean, he might want more than that. Up the Blues, says Lizzie. We'll see how you do in the Championship. We'll see. Stansfield can't penalty his way forward in that league, I imagine. What a cross that is! What a save, Kepa! Oh, and another save, Kepa! Huge 2 chances for Villa. And Kepa Arrizabalaga with 2 really good saves. The first one better than the second, in fairness. But 2 massive chances for Villa at the end of the first half. Cross from the left from Digne. Finds Kamara. Free header. Great save, Kepa. And then while he's on the floor, a follow-up header is also denied. Kamara has to score that, though, I think. It's a decent header on goal. It's a good reaction, but it's kind of towards Kepa. It's not in the corner. And then it was Matty Cash's reply header, and he did everything he could possibly do with that. But Kepa on the floor managed to recover. Good saves, but Kamara, I think, has to bury that. It's a free header, far post. It's got power, but it's not in the corner. And for it to not be in the corner, it gives Kepa the opportunity to make the save. Still good save, though. Good bit of goalkeeper. Yeah, I did say it is straight at Kepa. I did say that point man talks a lot. He should really score that. And now Bournemouth down the other end. This would really hurt Villa if they scored. Cross towards Evan Nilsson is awful, really. And Digne, I mean, he hasn't even felt the need to clear the ball long. He does now, trying to find Ollie. Villa get the second ball of Asensio. But the referee has whistled for a foul. Bit of a spark to the end of this first half. I was going to say, like, at half time, I had very little to talk about in this game, but then a flurry of headers from Kamara and Cash forced Kepa into some good saves. And then Asensio hitting the post maybe 10, 15 minutes before that. Villa have definitely looked more likely than Bournemouth to get a goal in this game, but it still remains 0-0 as we come up to half-time here. Appreciate all the support as always, guys. If you haven't already, please double tap on the screen if you're watching on TikTok. I am live on YouTube as well, AGS TV. Feel free to watch there. That has to be a foul on Ramsey. Oh, Ramsey, don't fight. There's no need for that, Ramsey. Like, give him the card. Thank you. And Ramsey has been ripped to pieces from Bournemouth like multiple times. And he reacted a little bit there. Emi Martinez has just been given a yellow. Emi travelled the length of the half to complain there. And then Emi got booked for complaining. Ramsey has been ripped to pieces, though. Tom, I appreciate the sunglasses gift. Thank you very much. But yeah, Ramsey... I mean, he's been fouled like 4 times. Like, nasty challenge again on Ramsey. He's had 2 horrible tackles. The one from Semenyo was worse than that, but that one also was quite bad from Adam Smith. Emi getting a very needless yellow there, I think. I mean, he ran up literally the half of the pitch to complain and then got a book for it. I remember Olympiacos crashing out embarrassingly in the Europa League this season as they got absolutely thumped. Was it 4-0? What happened in that game? I'll have a look. Yeah, they got embarrassed by losing to Bodo Glimt's crazy. They got absolutely embarrassed by them 3-0 and went out in the Europa League. Imagine losing to Bozo Gimp. That's crazy. Good tackle from Cash. Villa put it into the box. Watkins! Yeah! Villa score with a minute before half-time. Ollie Watkins might have got a touch to it. Villa cross from the right. Goes all the way. And Ollie, I believe, gets a final touch to the ball. All the players point at Ollie and celebrate that it was him that got it. Bournemouth 0, Aston Villa 1 with seconds to go before the end of the first half here. We're going to see, does Ollie get the final touch? If he does, it's a minuscule touch, but it might just have been enough to deny Kepa the save. All this, by the way, because Matty Cash, I believe, won the ball back for Villa, didn't he? Yeah, Matty Cash. Yeah, it was. Well done, Cash, who I've given a lot of criticism towards. Cross from the right from Morgan Rogers. Just onside as well. Does he get the touch, though? Was it Ollie? Ollie does get the touch. It is Ollie Watkins' goal. He gets the slightest of touches to divert the ball into the bottom corner. Bournemouth 0, Aston Villa 1. It's literally come off the very tip of Ollie's boot. And that's all the difference it needed to make. Bournemouth 0, Villa 1 here. Huge time to score as well. Just before half-time is massive for Villa. They are going to check it, though. They're going to check the goal from VAR. I mean, it looked onside to me, so this would be ridiculous. The angle we got, it showed it was onside. Goal! Yeah, given. I was going to say, it looked on. So I'd have been very disappointed if that was disallowed. We do have the automatic onside now, and it was the... Oh, wow. It was the elbow of the Bournemouth man who's kept Ollie onside. Love the semi-automated offside. It is great. But Villa's goal is absolutely massive for our plight for top 4, top 5 Champions League place. Villa now have a very brand new top goal scorer for the club. Ollie Watkins officially becomes Aston Villa's highest ever Premier League goal scorer with 75 Premier League goals. He overtakes Gabby Agbonlahor in the list now. It's finally happened. Ramsey for Villa. We might get a second here. Ramsey's crossed into the box, only half cleared, but the referee does blow up now. It is half-time. Bournemouth 0, Aston Villa 1. Huge, huge goal before the end of the first half by Ollie Watkins. I mean, we needed that desperately. And to be fair, I don't think Bournemouth fans would disagree that Villa have been the better side in this game and do deserve the lead. Asensio hitting the post with a shot from the edge of the box and a flurry of saves from Kepa to deny Kamara and Matty Cash's headers. And then right at the very end of the half, a Morgan Rogers cross finds the just tippy toe of Ollie Watkins' boot to divert past Kepa. And that's given Villa a 1-0 lead at half-time. Villa, as things stand, will climb up to 6th place on goal difference behind Chelsea and Newcastle. So that Chelsea-Newcastle game will be very, very interesting if you're a Villa fan like me. We've only 2 games to go beyond this point. If Villa can hold on, which is a huge if, with our away form this season, but if we can hold on to the massive 3 points that we're getting right now, we proper heat up this top 5 race. Well, it's top 5 race now, isn't it? Because of the extra place that we were given from UEFA. I'm excited. And we've deserved that. I mean, we have been the better side. It's been a slow game, but I think we've been the better side here. Other than Evan Nilsson's hold-up play, they've really provided very little, Bournemouth. They've just put some hopeless crosses into the box, looking for an opportunity here and there, but there's not been much actual football from Bournemouth, and I think Villa deservedly are in front. Oliver George, Arthur Watkins, what a baller. We can get rid of Asensio and Rashford. We've got a nice team. I mean, your hate towards Rashford's crazy. Asensio, he hit the post. I don't think he's had a bad game. And they're both on loan, so I don't think either are going to be here permanently next season. So you might get your wish anyway. Bournemouth, this would be their 11th defeat of the season. They do have a good bit of form before today. You have to remember that. As they're unbeaten in 5 with a win against Arsenal at the Emirates that followed this, a draw at home to Man United, nearly won that as well. A goalless draw away at Palace, a 1-0 win against Fulham, a 2-2 draw at West Ham. They've got a bit of form leading up to this, but right now, 1-0 down to Aston Villa at half-time. Let me know what you guys think. Have you been happy watching this game? If you're a Villa fan, Bournemouth fan, whatever, do let me know. Let's have a bit of dialogue. Bobby says up the Villa. Luke says, what a ball from that cross from Rodgers. Absolutely outrageous. Now, I don't think he's that good out wide, but he can still show his unbelievable amounts of quality. Incredible ball into Ollie. And when a cross is that good, where Ollie only needs to put his toe on it and it goes in, it really does show how good of a cross it was. How come the automated offside shown, start from the line showing from the arm, not the shoulder? I think the way it works for defending is any part of the body. As far as I am aware. It is a good point though, because I know for obviously handball stuff, I think the attacker, it's not his arm, it's anything he can touch the ball with legally with his hand, but defenders, it might be different for them. Good question to ask though, because it was his elbow, wasn't it, that they showed. And I'm just seeing the Bournemouth reaction as well. Semenyo, you idiots. Semenyo pisses me off when he holds on to the ball for 19 years. Semenyo showing off for the Sky cameras as per usual. Decent mid-table Premier League finish. At least we got our record points. Deserved. I mean, a lot of their fans are just annoyed with Semenyo, which is fair. I mean, he lost the ball. Thoughts on Peter Whittingham? Isn't he? He passed away, didn't he? I know he played for Villa and Cardiff. Wasn't a bad player, I don't believe, but yeah, he passed away in 2020. Very sad. A little bit, tiny bit before my time playing for Villa in 2007. I literally was 6-7 years old, so a little bit before my time. But I know he's more known for Cardiff City. Obviously, I watched a lot of EFL growing up and stuff. So yeah, blast from the past, isn't it? How there wasn't a red card? I don't think it was a red. I think they've been dirty. they've had lots of fouls. I just think they rotate who makes the foul. Because first it was Semenyo, then Smith, and I think Bournemouth are a bit of a rough and ready team, aren't they? I mean, Ramsey has been ripped into, to be honest. How we've got more yellows. By the way, we have more yellows than them. That's crazy, no? How have we got more yellow cards than they have? How? They have failed us to pieces. Good take from Watkins up the Villa. Very good. Very good cross. I think it was more of the cross. Not to take it away from Ollie, it was more of the cross from Rodgers was outrageous. I mean, literally, it meant any touch from Ollie means it's going in. And Ollie got the faintest of toe punts to it. And look, I'm very happy and a thoroughly deserved lead for Villa. But that cross from Rodgers was absolutely ridiculous. And yeah. I would take the result over the performance. So I did say 2-0, so one more to go for my run of predictions to continue. Actually, good enough to be honest. Hope Ollie stays, says Luke. Yeah, Kamara should have scored the header. I do think that it's a free header at the back post. He's a holding midfielder, so he's not going to be in those positions too often. But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I did talk about earlier. City drawing is shocking. I think Manchester City. I expected a lot more. Really, they're playing one of the worst teams ever in Premier League history, and they couldn't even score. Like Villa went up there not too long ago, and it took us until like 20 minutes to go to get the first goal. We still ended up beating them. Was it 3-0 in the end? And we missed 2 penalties in that game too. Like. Yeah, I'm just very surprised. I mean, it has just epitomised how bad of a season Man City have had, really. And whenever you think, oh, City are back, this kind of result shows again. I still think City, well, they're probably going to be in a title race next season, but this could be the start of City's, I wouldn't say demise, but they're like somewhat downfall today. Because, I don't know. Obviously, it doesn't start today, but it just shows how bad it actually has been for Man City. Do you want Rashford? I want Rashford if the wages are not high, is what I'm trying to say. I think Rashford, in his time at Villa, has shown his quality. I think we missed him heavily in the FA Cup semi-final. We'll have a look at Rashford's stats so far. I mean, I say so far. The loan will have ended really because of his hamstring injury. But I think Rashford's played well. I look back at some of the games, right? So he came in. His first game was Tottenham. He had 25 minutes. Ipswich, he was brilliant. He got man of the match against Ipswich in a very awful game. It was his free kick that hit the post that then Watkins rebounded. Liverpool, I think it was uneventful. Chelsea got 2 assists for Asensio. Palace, he had 20 minutes off the bench. Cardiff provided an assist for Asensio. Bruges, I think had an okay game. We won the game, but I don't remember much from him for that. Brentford, sub-appearance. Bruges at home, got an assist, played well. Preston, man of the match, 2 goals. Brighton got a goal and a 3-0 win. A sub-appearance against Forest. Didn't play amazing against PSG in the away game, but had very little to work with. Played decent against Southampton when we beat them 3-0. Got an assist and played unbelievable against PSG in the second half. I think he's got enough there to show that we could, if it's worth getting Rashford, I think there's enough. We've seen enough evidence that it would be something useful for Villa. I've liked what I've seen from him. There was a couple games where he didn't play amazing, but he's not going to be fantastic, is he? Like he's not going to be like prime Rashford like 2019. Is going to be the Rashford that hasn't played a game for a long time at United. Someone he was literally unfit when we first signed him. So I think he had a good season at Villa. Like if you want to call it half season, that's fine. But I think he played well for Villa, and If the price is good, I'd be happy if we signed him. But the price has to be good, unfortunately. If I've missed chats, I apologise. I don't know what I've missed here. Do I think Watkins grabbing the badge means he won't go? I don't read much into that. John Duran literally grabbed the badge and pointed, "I'm staying," and then left 6 months. Not even 6 months. He left 4 months later. It means nothing. It literally means Cunha did it for Wolves. Cunha recently scored and like kissed the badge. Well, pointed at the badge, kissed it, whatever. He's probably gone. So like, I don't read into that. Please don't. It honestly means so little. The players shouldn't do it if they don't actually mean what they're doing. In my opinion, they're different characters, but don't look. We've seen how many times, right? Have we seen Villa players act or behave in a way that we get an expectation? Fabian Delph said, "This is my club," and a week later went, right? Jack Grealish said, "This is my club," a year later went. So I don't look too much into it. I'm sorry, but I don't want to hurt myself, you know? I don't want to get heartbroken. Up the Villa says, "Up the Villa, how you doing, mate?" Graham says, "Ramsey, Asensio, Digne off, Marlon, McGinn, Matson on." Flatcat says, "Once Coutinho is sold, we have a bit of wages breathing." I think financially that decision to sign Coutinho, with retrospective, it was awful. Actually good for staff. Hope Ollie stays. We should sign. What do you mean? Because is that a misspelling or someone I just don't know? I've never seen that ever. Apparently there is a player with that name. Who the hell is it? Oh, it's from Nice. I've never seen this player. Apparently he was on loan at. I mean, he scored 3 goals in 30 on loan at Nantes. So I don't know. 6'2" forward, 18 goals and 8. I won't go for that. That goal return is just not fantastic for Premier League when it's a better league. I just don't think that would be good. Zubamendi, Cunha, Gyökeres, Rodrigo, could be. I mean, a lot of those wouldn't go to Villa. Cunha, I'd love at Villa. Would Cunha come to Villa? I don't know. But imagine. Also, you've got the whole thing about Cunha being a bit of a weirdo on the pitch. Like, you know, when he strangled someone, he'd like. He seems to have a temper. I don't know if Cunha is like the kind of player you'd want to bring him. In fact, it was at this ground against Bournemouth. He scored a screamer, and then like it was that game he choked someone and then got a red card. So I don't know. I just don't think he's like the most trustworthy player. I don't know if he's an unbelievable talented footballer. Don't get me wrong, but he just seems to be a bit chaotic. And we've already had Captain Chaos Beer. Another Stilian Petrov would be great. Oh, I miss Stan. I miss Stan Petrov, man. Growing up, he was he really was a player I liked as a little kid. I was very sad the way that ended with him getting leukemia and stuff. Glad he recovered though. That was a nice story, and he obviously has like the Stan Petrov Foundation and stuff. But I remember that all coming out, and I was devastated. What's your thoughts on KDB rumours? Yeah, I heard that Villa were in talks. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. If De Bruyne doesn't go to Saudi, I don't know what he's doing. To be honest, like realistically, I don't know what he should go get the bag. If Villa want to get him and he wants to come for not an insane amount of money, again similar to the Rashford thing, would be an unbelievable signing. Would be genuinely. De Bruyne, even at like he's getting older now, I still think he's a top player. But it's his wages. Would we afford his wages? I think he would get high wages in Saudi that we can't compete for. And like, mate, it has Al Hilal all over it. Or like, can you imagine like De Bruyne with Ronaldo? Imagine all the clips on TikTok and all that you'd see with like De Bruyne through ball into Cristiano. Or like John Durant. De Bruyne cross into Durant. Unbelievable. What I get asked this question, right? Every year since he's gone, every few streams, I always get asked, would I take Grealish back? I wouldn't take Grealish back. I don't think I think Villa have got to a point where I don't think Jack Grealish improves our attack. For the money that we'd have to pay him, right? It'd be a lot of money. And the money we'd have to pay for him, he would not improve us enough. I don't even think he's better than Rodgers. I think Rodgers is a better player than Grealish anyway. But I don't think he would improve Villa for the money that it would take to buy him back. Or get him back on loan even. I just don't think going back to Grealish solves anything. I really don't. My opinion of Grealish in the last year or two has absolutely plummeted. I think he's... I don't know. I don't know whether the system has killed his enjoyment of the sport, but I've yet to see free roam Grealish since he's been at that soulless club. And it's killed me, to be honest, because I used to love, obviously, Grealish as Villa anyway. I think the neutral used to love watching Grealish play, to be honest, because he's unbelievable on the pitch. You'd never know what he's going to do. And I feel like that got taken out of him at City, and I don't know. I don't think he improves Villa in any way. We're lucky City drew Southampton. Very. I don't think anyone expected Southampton to get anything against them, so we'll take it. I still don't think we're going to finish level with City on point. I think City get more points than Villa, so it puts them under more risk, I suppose, of other teams catching them up. But I think City still get the UCL. I think they've had a good bit of form recently. Today's shocking for them. Don't get me wrong, but you should beat Southampton. There's no excuse to not beat them. But yeah, I think I still think we're not going to catch them, unfortunately. Missed goal, went to do my tea, happy days. It was a cross from Rodgers. Unbelievable ball from Rodgers, and Watkins got his little tippy toe on the end of it to divert the ball past Kepa. Really good goal. Won back by Cash as well. The ball was won from Cash, from Semenyo. Villa started the second half a bit aggressive here. Kamara, edge of the Bournemouth box. Left footed! Oh! Boubacar Kamara nearly put Villa 2 up there. I mean, he should have already scored a goal today. Kamara gets the ball, edge of the box, actually has more space than he should have, shifts it onto that left. I think he should do more with that. His edge of the box there, it's one of those where you'd want that to be Asensio or any other kind of attacker for Villa, not Kamara, to be honest. But what a very aggressive start to second half of Villa that could have been. Cliver has come on for Bournemouth. That has been a change that has been made. What are your thoughts are that I'm not going to get into politics here. I just don't want a war to happen, my friend, and I think some countries don't help what goes on. Is Alson for Bournemouth. Good ball into Semenyo. Semenyo against Cash. Left-footed ball in. Ooh, not a great clearance. Oh, it could be a goal. What a save, Martinez. Cliver wants a penalty. I mean, I don't think there's much contact there anyway, but I think Emery makes a decent save. Thanks for the rose from Dad and Daughter Pub Crawl. I appreciate that. I do love a pub crawl myself, to be honest. Have you ever seen the striker? Hoof-hearted? I don't know what you mean by that, Lawrence. I genuinely don't know what you mean by that. I thought I've missed a lot of comments. So I apologise. Just reading them now. We've got thoughts now. I think our first half was good. It was a bit slow, but I think we've been the better side. Going well. Hopefully another 3 points. Still a long way to go, Toyota, but like I said, it's been a decent start. Hello to you, Lie Detector. What's up? I turned 22 today, lads. Well, congrats. Happy birthday to you, mate. And I hope your reward today is a very cheery AJ. Or maybe you want a sad AJ. Who knows? Maybe that's like your best birthday wishes is just for me to have a meltdown on stream. I think that's the case, because whenever Villa lose or lose badly, the view counts skyrocket. So I don't know. I feel like people watch me for my meltdowns half the time. where are they for my joy, huh? They're there for the downfall. When we got beat by Olympiacos, I had like 300,000 views for that on a video. When we got beat by Newcastle on the opening day of the season, we got hammered 5-1. I had another 200k, 300k view video for that. There for my downfall. Always there for my downfall. Both sounds well. Villa go long towards Ollie. A bit of head tennis here with Mings. Onana clips it forward again. The ball just refuses to settle down to the ground. Newcastle, they're on my mind now. Bournemouth do win the ball eventually. I wonder how the game plan will be. Emery's game plan, being that Villa 1-0 up at half time, will it be more of the same? Will we try and be a bit more defensive maybe? I hope not. I hope we don't sit back and just wait for them to attack. I want us to go for the jugular, if anything. Crossed on the left for Bournemouth. Decent ball, but no one there to attack it. Going to go to the right-hand side here. Adam Smith on a yellow card, but could put a cross in. Oh, they've lost the ball poorly. Come on, Villa. It's Ollie. Bit of space to run into. We might just slow it down here with the tempo. Ramsey goes down. Ref doesn't give a foul for that, which I'm surprised with. Tavernier for Bournemouth. Shocking ball. What is that? Bournemouth's passing has been awful this game. I will say, they're way better passing unit than what we've seen today. Their passing has been absolutely shocking. And again, it's another bad ball. Semenyo's been awful. Absolutely awful. And that could change, but I think even the Bournemouth fans would admit that Semenyo's just not been on it. Got dispossessed for the Villa goal, and every time he's had the ball, he put the earliest cross of the game was his, and it sailed out into Rosette. And it's just kind of set the tone for his kind of game. That should be a foul on Konza. It is. Free kick to Villa, right by our goal. Warplanes, sort that out, bro. How do you even manage that? Don't tempt fate. Yeah, I'll try not to. OC KDB going to Madrid as replacement. He won't go to Madrid. I think he's just going to go to Retirement League, whether that's the Burger League or whatever. He'll go there. Onana. Again, heavy press on Bournemouth. Cook trying to press Onana, and that's a foul, surely. He's just absolutely ripped into Onana there. And is that not a card for Cook? It's just a nasty tackle he doesn't have to make. He's nowhere near the ball. I don't know. I feel like there's a case for a booking there. And Onana's still holding his leg hurt. He's still writhing in pain, I should say. Unai with his typical chin rub looking on the pitch. He's back to his feet. I was worried about he'd have to come off injured or something. The free kick to Villa. Emmy will take it. Guys, you're watching on TikTok, please do double tap the screen. I have a live stream also available on YouTube if you want to watch it over there. Feel free to do that. But a lot of viewers on YouTube today. I appreciate all your support, as always, on all platforms. But we do have live match stats as well as player ratings if you want to go see them all. After today, I will be doing a TikTok video just to give my thoughts on today. So far, I'm fairly pleased. Like I said, it's been a fairly quiet game, but I'm happy with what we've seen. I think we've more than controlled the game. We've been more than good enough to win. It's just I worry about mistakes that we could make that could lead to Bournemouth getting a result here. Free kick to Villa, foul on Rodgers. Kirkes with the foul. He's also now limping. So I don't know what's happened there with Kirkes. Yeah, Kirkes just holding his thigh here. YouTube better. It is indeed, Connor. It is indeed. It's just a bit. TikTok's more for like convenience. YouTube is just way better viewing. Although my timer's not working still, so I apologise for that. That we should still have a timer, but it just absolutely refuses to load. And I may have to just I hate to do this on stream, and I apologise to the viewers, but I may have to literally just fix this here, just to see what's going on. All right, I'll do that, and I'll click unhide. Oh, I might have fixed it. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. I got it. I just needed to reload it. We have a timer for the live stream on YouTube. I apologize, guys. It's just not been working all day. And I click one box, and it is now loading again. I just needed to check the refresh box, which should have already been ticked anyway. So I don't know how it unticked itself, but there you go. We have a timer now. So look, YouTube's even better. Even better. Poor Murad Lawler's Dortmund fan. He's oh dear. Poor Murad. I've not seen Murad today, actually. Where's he gone? Semenyo out wide for Dortmund. I got Dortmund on my brain now. Kirkez. Good tackle, Cash. Well done. Matty Cash has been absolutely stunning today. You turn it off and on again. Well, who knew? Yeah, a lot of IT problems are like that, unfortunately. Yeah. Corner to Bournemouth. And the crowd has, for the first time today, actually got off their feet and tried to create an atmosphere. Villa with the lowest corners conceded statistic in the Premier League, with only 2 all season. Corner to Bournemouth. Headed away by Nana at the near post. I think having someone who's 6'5" defend the near post is, well, it stops a lot of the bullshit that teams do on the goal line. And then having Tyrone Mings, one of the best headers of the ball, also in the box too. It makes this really difficult. Corner to Bournemouth again, and it's Onana with the header again. And it goes into the hands of Martinez. That's 2 corners for Bournemouth, and both on the head of Onana. Oh dear. Yeah, it took a couple bounces. The initial header from Onana. And eventually Villa were able to keep the ball. Give me a player to do an edit on. You know what? I'll do a niche player. What about Ian Maatsen for Villa? I think there's enough for Maatsen you can get. You can grab a bit from Villa. You can grab a bit from Dortmund. I think there's enough for you to do an edit on Ian Maatsen, and someone who should start way more games for Aston Villa, in my opinion. I love him. I think he's a really good attacking fullback. If he could work on defending it a little bit more, I think he would be a menace in this league. But yeah, Ian Maatsen, feel free to do that. I think it'd be a good one. Yeah, I'm glad. And I'll be on the lookout for it. You know what? If you actually do the edit, I'll give you a follow and I'll have a look at it. If you do the edit, there you go. You got to do the edit though, otherwise I take the follow away. Obviously, I'll give you the time and all that. AJ, I will message him. Let's see. We'll see what happens. Release Maatsen from defending duties and have a cracking winger instead. Well, you never know. You never know. He could cause some trouble. I don't know if his finishing is all that. Wow, they've got an overlay here. The time of last shot, Bournemouth 27th minute, Villa 46, which was the goal. We've yet to see a shot in the second half. In fact, we have stats on screen, guys. There's been 2 shots for Bournemouth, 6 for Villa in the entire game. And Villa, well, neither team have had a shot second half, but yeah, I expected a bit more from Bournemouth, but we still have a long way to go. Hello, Murad. How you doing? How you doing, mate? These are dirty. Yeah, they've ripped into Ramsey multiple times. I mean, the foul from the foul from Semenyo was disgusting. And then Smith, it was still a dirty tackle. Not as Semenyo's one was literally just to do anything to to rip into Ramsey, whereas Adam Smith was like desperation lunge to trip him over. But very dirty. How have we got more yellows than them, by the way, Michael? We got more yellows than them. 16 fouls to 5, and we have 3 players on a booking. They have 2. What a load of shite that is. Where's the consistent refereeing, huh? Absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Corner Bournemouth, hour played here. In swinger, good catch Martinez. And then I think another reason, by the way, for our incredible corner record is that Emery catches so many crosses. He's one of the few keepers that is just so confident coming out to the ball. You know, you've got like Vicario as a good example for a keeper who's not confident with crosses at all. Like actual vampire, scared of crosses, right? Emery comes and catches so many. And it's an underrated thing. I would rather... Now, this might be a bit of a wild claim. I'd rather a keeper who comes for crosses and is more aggressive defending his box than a ball-playing goalkeeper. That's what I want. I want a keeper who's super confident and controlling of his penalty area. I would much rather that than someone who can kick a ball with his feet like really well for 70 yards, right? I think it's way more valuable having a keeper who's just a presence in his penalty box. And it's something that rarely gets talked about in this sport, but it saves so many goals just coming out for a cross that you'll know you're going to get to. Just being that confident keeper. Like, I'd much rather them catch it than punch it, but punching is better than doing nothing, I suppose. I just think it's an underrated thing in goalkeepers. Like I said, I stand by that. I'd die on that hill. I'd rather have a keeper who's more commanding. Oh, what a tackle that is, by the way. Morgan Rogers. Oh, he does lose the ball straight after though. Oh, foul given. What was the foul for? I missed that. Was that a foul on Digne? It was. An 11th outfield player who can use his hands occasionally. Essentially, that's like the Pep system to have an outfield player that they can play out from the back with, essentially. But I would much rather a confident goalkeeper. Keeper who's confident on the ball is key to our build-up there. You say that, but when we play out from the back, our defence drops so deep that the passes are short. And when we go long, Emery can do that anyway. Most keepers, even keepers who you wouldn't even say are ball-playing goalkeepers, they can thump a ball. Like, when we play short, right, out from the back, the passing's not that difficult. We have our full-backs drop basically to the byline. So, I don't know. I don't think it's as important as what people make. If you can get a keeper that can do both, that's great. But, I don't know. I feel like you gotta work it. Like, you can have Nick Pope play out from the back. I wouldn't say Nick Pope is anywhere near a ball-playing keeper, but he can make like a 10-yard pass short, you know? Centre-backs need the option of going back to Emery, though. Yeah, Olsen's shit, though. So you can't... I get what you're saying. He's not a good keeper, though. So, like, I agree with what you've said there. And I do think defenders are nervous and hesitant with Olsen. That's just because he's shit. Olsen doesn't do anything well. He's got one of the worst saves to goals conceded ratios we've ever had in a goalkeeper. So, like, he's just shit. Like, you could say whatever you want for that. He's just not very good. He could be a ball-playing keeper. He could be very good with his feet. It'd still be the same outcome. Long throw in for Bournemouth from Semenyo. And once again, another catch from Martinez. Just plucks it out the sky. Like, what can they do here? We've got 2 incredibly tall players with Mings and Onana defending. And if they can't get to the ball, Emery comes out and catches it anyway. And like that's the closest Bournemouth have come all game is crosses. And we've dealt with them so well. Very reminiscent of the Arsenal-Real Madrid game where Real just desperation cross all game and it went nowhere. Because Arsenal deal with crosses really well as well. Another team that have a set-piece coach. Swedish international have some results. I've said it on live streams before, right? About also, how is someone in Sweden not better than him? I refuse to believe he's the best that country has to offer. I absolutely, categorically refuse to believe that. There has to be someone. There has to be someone who's better. I don't know. Long throw for Villa. Flicked on by Mings, but we're actually really good defending at the near post from Bournemouth this time. And then Cliver is fouled. Yeah, Digne with the foul. I mean, he could have been booked for that, Digne, but I mean, I think we've been booked too many times in this game already, really. Kepa, well, Kepa's leading to take this, but risky because Villa have pressed a little bit high up with Watkins here. And they give it away. That's what I mean. The Bournemouth, I say we give it away, then Tyrone Mings tries to dribble out himself. But once again, Bournemouth, we give the ball back and they give it straight back to us anyway. Even when we're not being that nice. No, I'll say that again. Even when we're being too nice on the ball and we give them the ball for almost no reason, they give it straight back to Villa anyway. Guzan is better than us. I don't know about Guzan. I think is the worst keeper we've ever had. Guzan was shocked. Guzan had like one good year, possibly 1.5. Then was awful. I remember one good season of Guzan, and then he absolutely fell off miserably. I hate that you've asked me that, Luis. I hope it stays 1-0 Villa. I'm hopeful of a second goal to wrap it up. I don't know when that's going to come. I feel like this could age badly, but I feel like there's more chance Villa get a second goal than they get an equaliser. I just think they've done nothing all game. All it takes is one moment of like a lapse of concentration or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, Guzan was good. Like I said, he was good for that one season. Past that season, he wasn't very good. You know, man. Do you remember the City game where he literally passed the ball to Aguero in front of goal? He literally gave him an open goal. Out of almost for no reason. He just kind of slipped as he played the pass. And he's out his goal for it. And that's what I mean. That's what I think of when I think of Brad Guzan. I don't know. You look at some of the keepers that this club has had, man. Like Galini, I thought was all right, but multiple occasions, Galini kicks the ball against an attacker and it led to a goal. How does that happen to a keeper more than once, by the way? Was it Huddersfield? He kicked the ball against a striker and the ball rebounded in. And I think he did it against, was it Leeds? I know he did it on multiple occasions. I was like, how does this happen to a keeper more than once? Like, real talk, man. USA International is crazy. Oh my God. Brad Friedel was a lot better than Guzan. There you go. That's an American Brad who's bald, who I liked more than Guzan. Nyland was shocking as well. I hate Nyland. Nyland was awful as well. Had that one good run in the Carabao Cup. I remember that Leicester game when we beat Leicester. Trezeguet got a winner right at the end. And Nyland was unreal in that game. And like that whole Carabao Cup run, he was very good. And even in the final, I don't think the goals were his fault. But genuinely, other than that, he was shocking. Like, he was terrible. That's why we got Reina in. Literally why we bought in Pepe Reina, who that decision literally kept us in the league. I was a bit of a fan of Reina. Nigel Spink, of course. Probably, until we win something major again, probably will be considered the best goalkeeping appearance ever for Villa. In 82 in Rotterdam. But yeah, we've had some good keepers there over the years. And some honking ones. I mean, you look up Enkelman and you see what comes up. Not a save, not a list of saves he makes. It's quite sad really. But you look up Enkelman and only one thing really shows up. And yeah, Sorensen, there used to literally be a chant that was made about him called Sorry Sorensen, because he was awful. We had a year of Scott Carson on loan, who didn't do anything in particular. I'm trying to think now. Friedel for like 4 or 5 years was good. Schmeichel did score a goal as well. He did score a Premier League goal in that time as well for Aston Villa. Good old Peter Schmeichel. One of the few keepers to ever score in the Premier League. But we've had some absolute stinking goalkeepers. I can tell you haven't picked your brain with booze, your memory and knowledge. So it's been pretty, you know what? I am having this is Strongbow, right? But I'm having a good day of ball knowledge. I'm remembering a lot, which is not usually typical of me. But the ball knowledge is showing. My age is showing as well, unfortunately. Up the Villa, bro. How you doing, Chris? I disagree, Ollie, but you're entitled to that opinion. Of course you are. Do you think we should keep Cash? I feel like Cash should be a squad rotation player at this point. I love Cash, I really do. But if we want to really get top 4 and fight for it every season, Cash just isn't good enough for it. I know I'm saying that literally off the game where we've scored because Cash has won the ball, but you got to look at it more than just like one game moments. And Cash always puts in the effort. I do love him, but you have to make cutthroat decisions in sport. We are making some weird subs here, and I literally, as I was saying that, I just seen the comment from Erica. I'll read them all out when they're all done, but a lot of changes, including Pau Torres, has just come on for Villa, which I find is interesting. Asensio's gone off as well. It was Asensio for John McGinn, so the armband has now gone back to John. And I think other subs are just flooding through now. Just bear with me as I see them all. So Torres for Mings. Maybe Mings. I'm trying to think why. Maybe still related to that long-term injury he got. We don't want him to play full 90 minutes too often. Is something I can think of maybe. Digne cross for Villa towards Watkins. Good bit of goalkeeping from Kepa as he bowls it out. And Bournemouth look to hit Villa on the break. Very bad pass that was somehow kept alive for Bournemouth down the left-hand side. I think they made some changes too, which I'm just waiting to see now. They brought on Brooks as well for Adam Smith. He was on a yellow card, so it makes sense. Anana wins the ball back for Villa. Kamara beats one, plays a ball forward, but hopelessly and aimlessly towards Jacob Ramsey. Carabao bullcrap is Capital One. I just call it what it is. I don't know. It's also been the Carling Cup as well. It's been the Coca-Cola Cup. Got a bit of goalkeeping from Emery. Comes out to a long ball there for Tavernier to chase, but very confident keeping once again. Angelo has said, up the Brighton, unlucky against Palace, even though Brighton... we were awful in that game. Like, we don't even deserve an unlucky. We were shite. Palace were far better than us on the day, and yeah, absolutely torrid day out. Better today, though. I think we've been a lot better in this game against Bournemouth, and the fight for top 4 is still, well, I'll say top 5 now. It's still there for Villa. We played decent. I watched the Fulham game. I didn't stream it because I was away, but I watched it on my phone. And I thought we played okay. Also, appreciate the latency, by the way. TNT Sport do really good live latency from mobile devices now on iOS, which I really do appreciate. I've got to say. It was really good for that Fulham game. I thought it was fairly uneventful. Watkins missing a couple of really big chances in that game hurt me a little bit. But Fulham, other than a little bit of a flurry in the second half, I mean, they had a couple chances, but I always felt confident in that game. And yeah, I mean, a team that struggled to get clean sheets all season, we're not, it's 18 minutes away from another here. Still a long way to go, but Bournemouth haven't had a shot literally since the 20th minute. You've already finished the edit. I'm impressed if you've already finished the edit. That's crazy. Oh, well done, man. Who will Unai sign for Pau? I don't know if he'll let Pau go. He loves Pau Torres. He's had years of Pau Torres. He's like his son almost. I don't think Mings can put in a shift every game. You know what? I think Tyrone Mings, this might, maybe people disagree with what I'm going to say here. I think Mings has been one of the biggest surprise packages for Villa this season. I don't think many were expecting Mings to play as often as what he's played since injury. I don't think many expected him to be as good as what he's been since injury. He's arguably been our most consistent and best defender. You know how mad that is? Someone who many Villa fans thought he was going to be nowhere near the team back from injury. And that Palace game, we looked like a shell without him. I thought we were bullied by Mateta. Pau Torres and Konza couldn't get near him. And I was saying all stream, I wish Mings was out there. I wish Mings was out there. Because he loves dealing with the physical striker. That's his bread and butter. And Evan Nilsson, look how quiet he's been today. He's had Mings on his shoulder all game. And he's won a couple flick headers here and there. He's had to drop so deep as well. You've got to look at a lot of the times where Evan Nilsson's got the ball. Look how deep he's having to drop to then recycle the ball for Bournemouth. Because Mings hasn't given him a moment's peace all game. So, that's where my worry for him being taken off now. Because we lose that physical presence with him off. Ollie Watkins grimacing in a bit of pain there is not something I wanted the cameras to show me. Cross on the left for Bournemouth. Only half cleared at the near post. But yeah, my little rant about Mings. I think I am more than impressed with what I've seen from Tyrone Mings since he's come back from injury, and I'm really happy that he's managed to fight his way. And yeah, I think especially with how poor defensively this club has been in some recent games, I think we have missed him when he hasn't played. Yeah, it should have been a foul on Ollie, which is what the referee, why he gave the referee a talking to there a little bit. Ollie literally had a two-handed shove into him, which wasn't seen. AJ, tomorrow, what are you on about, lie detector, my friend? Oh, well, I appreciate that, Ollie. I appreciate it. Some of my opinions sometimes get disagreed with. Corner to Bournemouth, decent deep ball, and a foul is given on Martinez anyway. Oh, Leverkusen Dortmund. Oh, the bottle clubs. Oh, it's the bottle classic. Thanks for taking Rashi. We'll get more money once he goes to Barca. Do you not think United's treatment of Rashford has been poor? Look at the way Villa fans treated Rashford, right? We've been far better and far nicer to your star boy than United fans have been to him for years. And he's done very well at Villa. And I would love it if he actually did sign for Villa. You got to admit, he was impressive here. And I saw some Man United fans get annoyed at how good he's been here. So before, look, you just said you'll explain why he's come. Before you say that, you have to admit he's done well at Villa. You can't not. He's been very good at Villa. I'm gutted he's injured and out for the season. Loving the West Ham Okay. Stole our colours, by the way. Them and Burnley stole our colours. But funny joke. If he goes to Barca, he'll have the same experience like he had at United. I don't know about that. But it might be tough for him to get game time. So I don't know if joining Barca would be the best idea for him career-wise. That's if they want him anyway. Because he might want to go there, but they might not want him. Hopefully subbing Ty don't cost us. I was a bit worried about that sub. I did say it didn't really make too much sense to me other than he's just tired. Yeah, those were the only two subs we made was Mings for Torres for Mings and McGinn for Asensio. Ramsey does really well. Pulled down for the third time today. Jacob Ramsey has earned a yellow card for a Bournemouth player. 3 different occasions Ramsey has had to have been taken out because Bournemouth just can't keep him off the ball. How good has he been today? I think there's a definite case. Right, and look, this is why I hate player rating sometimes. Right, Ramsey's given a 6.5. I think there's a definite case for Ramsey to get man of the match for Villa today because he has ran them absolutely ragged. This is why you got to look at the game with your eyes, right? and sometimes not with like stats and stuff. You can get too engulfed in stats. Watch football with your eyes. Ramsey has ran them absolute ragged all game. 3 separate players booked now to taking him out. 3 separate players. Free kick to Villa. McGinn left-footed towards Onana, but it's really poor set piece from John McGinn, and he'll expect a lot more from himself there. Has definitely stepped up in Tielemans' absence. Yeah, heavily. Heavily so. Carried the ball lots more. We heard Newcastle putting a bid in for Ram. I've not seen anything about that, but we'll see. Talking to my mate about Spanish defenders, and he said Villa should sign Albiol. Okay. What, as a coach? He's at coaching age now. Torres goes long for Villa. Is one back Nana into Kamara. Bit of space to run into. Kamara does go long, looking for Rodgers on the left-hand side. Rodgers with Huijsen behind him. A little bit of footwork here for Morgan Rodgers by the corner flag. 10 minutes to go. Huijsen does win the ball off him. Gets a throw in though. Villa do have the throw. I think he wanted a foul there, but they're fouling each other, to be honest. So I don't know what Huijsen's claim is there, really. I saw the Harvey Barnes one. I saw I think that deal benefits Newcastle more than us. I don't think Harvey Barnes, he's a decent player, but I do think Ramsey provides more for Villa than what Barnes would provide for Villa. You can agree or disagree with that or whatever, but I don't know. I just think Barnes is nowhere near the winger he was at like West Brom or I don't know. Ramsey's just been booked, by the way, for a foul. Wow. Is that red? Ramsey, okay, well that's aged badly. Ramsey's been sent off. What the hell's going on? He did get a yellow, didn't he? I forgot about that. Oh shit. Ramsey's just been given a second yellow. I forgot he was booked. Well, with 10 minutes to go, holy shit. It's a silly foul, isn't it, really? What is he doing? There's not much on it, but he's trailing leg. I think he accidentally trips him over. I don't think there's actual intent for him to clip his foot with the heel. Oh, they nearly scored. I mean, that would have been devastating if they scored just after Semenyo gets a shot wide. That's their first shot, by the way, since the 27th minute. Imagine if they scored their first shot in like 60 minutes. Well, we have a long way to go now. I was literally backing Ramsey so much, and then he gets sent off as I'm talking about, and that's funny. I'm gonna have a deep dive into Harvey Barnes and what's going on with him. I don't think he starts many games, I believe. Or at least there's a point in time where he didn't. Oh no, I am wrong. He does start a lot. I swear there was a point in time where he wasn't. Was he injured? Oh, he had an injury. That explains it. Oh, before that, he was coming off the bench. Yeah, 27, 26, 26, 13, 6. And then since the injury, he's actually played a lot more. And that's actually done well. Fair enough. Martinez has just had to make a save. Villa needs to not have a wobble here. I'm worried. Was it Evan Nilsson who's just had the shot? Outside the... Oh, that's a good save, Emery, as well. He's an outside the ball cross. Flick at Evan Nilsson. Good save, Martinez. You know what? I'll hold my hand up and say Barnes has done really well since coming back from injury. How about that? Corner to Bournemouth. Headed away at the near post by Ezri Konza. Semenyo. Oh, that's a good ball. Villa in trouble. Cross. Torres gets a flick header away. Shot. Deflects. Gone anywhere. Bournemouth wants something. What the hell do they want? What is going on? Now Matty Cash is holding his knee. Yeah, you can't give that. Literally, you can't. There's no foul there. Yeah, there's no foul. Kirkes falls over because of the power of his shot. You're just looking at replays. There was like a penalty claim for Bournemouth, but I mean, there's no foul in there. They wanted a handball. They wanted a foul, and Huijsen's got himself a yellow card. Another corner to Bournemouth, 7 minutes. I'm worried about this game now, though. The referee has whistled. What is going on here? He's calling players over now. The Bournemouth fans are just not happy. Yeah, Wolf Playing says, I think we could lose this. It's been a bit of chaos here. Why do you have to make life difficult for ourselves, Dean? I'm so annoyed. I literally said I think Ramsey's our best player, and I could make that into a clip. I thought him winning so many fouls for Villa was brilliant. And it's just a moment of silliness, really, from Ramsey to get himself a second yellow. So you're on a booking. Be careful. I didn't realise he was booked, but he should be more careful than that. Semenyo for Bournemouth. Cross is over here. That's awful. That's an absolutely honking ball for Bournemouth. And there's sarcastic applause and cheers from the Villa fans in the away end. 5 minutes plus injury time. It's still Bournemouth 0, Villa 1. That goal from Ollie Watkins at the end of the first half is the difference. And I'm gutted we haven't got a second since, because being down to 10 is going to make this a very nervy end to the game. Villa as well, with not the best of away records. The red card on Ramsey could easily tip this in their favour. Very easily so. Ramsey pressing high for... not Ramsey, sorry. Rodgers pressing high. Onana wins it back for Villa. McGinn, edge of the box. Into Onana. Now inside. Can't get the shot away. Scoops it forward and into the hands of Kepa. We put a lot of players forward for that, considering we're down to 10, by the way. It's a really good win back. But, I mean, even Matty Cash came forward, and now we're exposed at the back. So, like, it's great putting players forward, but time and a place, I think. We're down to 10 men, lads. Kirkes. Cross. Header into the hands of Martinez. I mean, that's the most comfortable save Emery will ever have to make. Straight at him. Very little power. How's that? Yeah, I mean, I felt there was... I think it's because Ramsey catches his foot. He catches the heel. I don't think he's meant to foul him. I think he's accidentally caught his heel. But letter of the law, it is a foul. And probably is a second yellow. But I don't think Ramsey's meant to do it, because he looks surprised. All bit lucky bounce here for Rodgers. McGinn comes together, and the ball, so fortunately for Bournemouth, just stays in place in Bournemouth possession. That could have ricocheted anywhere as those lurking Villa players. Cross on the left for Bournemouth is early. It's deflected. They're going to go down this left-hand side again with Tavernier. They're just trying to work their way through now. Kluivert. Plenty of players in the box. Villa have everyone back defending now. Cross from Tavernier. Plucked out the sky from Emi Martinez. He's had a very solid game as well today. I think the yellow's harsh, but he's running the risk, really, when he's doing that. Like, you're trailing someone, just don't trip them over. Don't give them any excuse to send you off. Especially in a game where we're winning and... I don't know. I just think it's a very needless second yellow. I also think it's a harsh second yellow, but yeah, he shouldn't. It's one of those where I don't think it's enough to be a card, but I'm also annoyed at Ramsey that he's given the referee the opportunity. Lol, sure, AJ, do not compliment any of our score. Yeah, every time I say something positive, what happens, huh? I say Ramsey, man of the match, he gets sent off, huh? I say... I've said Martinez, is he going to drop the ball now? Like, what? Am I cursed? What's going on? What is going on? Guys on YouTube, 38 of you in the live stream. I massively appreciate your support. As always, if you haven't already on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. For the TikTok lot, guys, again, I appreciate your support too. Double tap, all the good stuff. I am live on multiple platforms, AJS TV. Please don't forget the name. And be with me for our push for Champions League football. Maatsen is going to come on for Villa. And this is a clever sub. I'm going to say for a lot of reasons. Rodgers off for Maatsen means that it could be someone who plays out wide, but it's a defensive-minded player out wide who can double up and defend and basically just sit back. I think that's a really clever substitution from Unai Emery to bring Maatsen on. So Maatsen will play as an attacker, but basically also know how to defend. I like that sub. That's a clever sub from Unai Emery. I'm happy with that. Guys, who's your man of the match today? There's lots of options to suggest from. What a ball that is. McGinn into Watkins. Villa, could we choose to hold the ball and defend? We might have got nothing, actually. That might have ricocheted. It does. It takes a ricochet off Ollie Watkins and a throw into Bournemouth. Anyway, I mean, that could have been more. Tavernier down the line to Kluivert. Villa press high. And they switch the play down the right-hand side and play right through Villa. We don't know how many minutes yet. We'll know in 30 seconds or more. Long way to go. Long way to go. It's going to be a very nervy end to this game. I hope we can hold on. McGinn and Cash back defending. Tavernier and Kluivert on the left-hand side here. Every Villa man back to defend. Cook could put a cross in, instead goes short. And they pass through Villa in the box. Kluivert gets a cross deflected from Cash. He's now on the byline. Bournemouth are struggling to get this ball into the box, though. That's a better ball. Headed away by Digne this time. So it's now Digne and Maatsen defending on the left-hand side. Kamara coming over to help as well. Cross deflected. 5 minutes have been given. 5 minutes. Oh, my life. Bournemouth have scored 8 goals. Bournemouth have scored more 90-minute plus goals than any team this season. That is something horrible to see. Corner comes in. Cash heads it up rather than away. Header on goal is wide, though. It's a poor header. How you doing, Barter? What's good? $1 USD into $167. 6-leg parlay up the Villa. Nice. Good job, bro. 4 minutes to go of injury time. We've already wasted one. 5 bloody minutes. How you doing, Jerome, as well? What's good? Like I said, insane support on the YouTube channel today. Thank you all, as always. Cons are booked. I think, was it for time wasting there? But another Villa yellow card. My man of the match, probably. I know someone also said it in the chat. I would just about edge it to Amadou Onana. He's just been everywhere. In the attack, in defense, midfield, he just seems to always be a presence everywhere on the pitch. I would have said Kamara, but I felt Kamara should have scored. So probably Onana edges it over Kamara. That's my opinion. Onana has just been unbelievable this game. And against Palace, I thought he played well too. One of the few players to hold their heads up against Crystal Palace. Bournemouth play down the left. It's Kluivert. They scoop it forward, but Martinez has the easiest hold of his life there. That's a poor ball. And Bournemouth are running out of time, slowly but surely. Only 3 minutes to go now. 3 minutes, and you know what we're like for time wasting. If we win Newcastle v Chelsea tomorrow, is massive for us. That's true. It's a big if, though. We have 3 minutes to hang on, guys. 3 minutes. Emi Martinez on the ball, launches it long towards Ollie Watkins. It's going to go from one keeper to another. Unfortunately, back in Bournemouth possession once more. Perez says we got to defend solidly. We do indeed. Everyone comes back to defend, including Ollie. And we now have on the left-hand side Maatsen and Digne to defend. They get an early cross in from the right. And that's a bad pass. And Watkins can get it for Villa, but only momentarily. He's on his own. He tries to collect the ball down. But it wastes a few more precious seconds for AFC Bournemouth as they go down the left. They've avoided the side Matson's on, I think, for a reason. Kluivert gets the cross in, deflects off Cash, and we're now down to 2 minutes. Kluivert bowls it back. He's been very heavily involved in the last few minutes here, Kluivert. They switch the ball down the right. Oh, Cook with an awful ball. Oh, dear. That's an absolutely shocking ball from Cook. And it's the Aston Villa supporters who are ironically applauding that. I'll watch the edit. I'll do a video. I'll watch the edit. I'll watch your edit though, bro. Don't worry. A minute and a half to go. Bournemouth 0, Villa 1. The Villa fans in fine tune as the camera pans over to them. Villa go long towards Ollie. Oh, it's a really good flick pass. Villa could be in trouble here. Kluivert has so much room to run into. Villa now eventually getting back. 1 minute to go. Kluivert has an option out wide. Gets a cross in. What a ball. Oh my God, how have they missed? How have they missed? How have Bournemouth missed? Jebison, how has that not gone in? Is Matty Cash with the block? Did Cash block that? Oh my God, did Cash block that? Bournemouth somehow should have scored. Oh, Matty Cash. What a block. I've just seen the replay. Matty Cash has blocked the ball on the goal line to deny Bournemouth. Just gets in front of Jepson at the last. What a crucial interception that is. And bear in mind, it's a really top save from Martinez before that anyway. But what an interception that's been. And that might have just been enough, maybe. We have it long with Ollie. McGinn takes over by the corner flag. John McGinn goes down. And the referee... Oh, the linesman doesn't flag for it either, actually. Bournemouth, do they have the time? We're over 5 minutes. They bowl it out quickly. Villa press them high. Surely they don't have enough time. Yeah! Villa win the game! The full-time whistle has gone. Aston Villa have hung on to a massive 3 points in the South Coast. Ollie Watkins' first half goal is enough. A clean sheet away from home. Back-to-back clean sheets in the Premier League. It's all eyes on Newcastle and Chelsea tomorrow. Oh my life. We are heating up the top 5 battle, baby. Full time here. Villa hang on. Somehow, some way we hang on. It's finished. Bournemouth 0, Aston Villa 1. Be with me shortly. I'll do a video just talking about it all. Thank you all so much for the support today. For the final time today, I'm going to ask you guys, please, if you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit follow. You know, not many Villa accounts on here. So, like, if you want to see me happy, sad, whatever, you want to follow the Villa through me, feel free to do that. Love you all so much. And, yeah, like I said, I'll be live for, it is Spurs. Is it Spurs next? Spurs at home. I think that's our next game. And then it's Manchester United away. I'll be live for both. Thank you for watching. See you again very soon.